All right. We're gonna cover current market conditions. I've been doing a little while. I know I keep doing this, but we're gonna, push forward and try and keep things going. Sorry, guys, I work a full-time job on top of this, so actually two. But I am trying to keep up with my channel, and I will try to keep up with it moving forward. So everybody right now is probably like, "Oh my gosh, where's Bitcoin going? What's it doing? What's going on with the market? Are we going up? Are we going down? All that good stuff." I would say definitely going up. If you follow my Twitter, I usually keep that up to date for the most part. It allows me enough time to kind of pop in and be like, hey, current update for charts, so on and so forth. So I'd say Twitter is kind of like my best feed, but I'm definitely working on trying to get more content on my YouTube. All right, anyways, moving into the market, let's move forward. All right, since we were going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Elliot waves or impulse wave theory / pattern, we should probably know and understand what that is. So by definition, what is an impulse wave pattern? An impulse wave pattern is a technical trading term that describes a strong move in a financial asset's price coinciding with the main direction of the underlying trend. It is used frequently in the discussion of Elliot wave theory, a method for analyzing and predicting financial market price movements. Impulse waves can refer to upward movements in an uptrend or downward movements in a downtrend. Impulse waves are trend-confirming patterns identified by Elliot wave theory. So I would definitely take a look at that if you want to understand it more. These are key takeaways. Impulse waves consist of 5 subwaves that make a net movement in the same direction as the trend of the next largest degree. Elliot wave theory is a method of technical analysis that looks for recurrent long-term price patterns related to persistent changes in investor sentiment and psychology. Remember, all price charts, all trend movement is a psychology-based chart, guys. That is what charting is. Charting is based off, is the market feeling good? Is the market feeling bad, right? If we know which way the market is feeling, we know which way the market is going to go. And we'll discuss that moving forward. All right, now that we discussed Elliot wave theory, now we can utilize Elliot wave theory, right? So basically right now with Bitcoin has already gone through a five-way movement. So if Bitcoin's gone through a 5-way movement, then we can basically look at it from a bigger perspective as kind of showing that Bitcoin has already finished its 5 waves originally, and then it came into a cooldown period, which is what we call the ABC correction, which is basically it can continue to do repeatedly, or it can continue to push into another 5-way movement, right? These are kind of the 2 trends that we typically look for. So if Bitcoin moved into a 5-wave movement, you're probably like, well, where is that? Well, its first 5 wave, this cycle was here. We have our 0 to 1, our 2 to 3, our 4 to 5, and then from there, we basically went into our ABC correction. We basically went up, we went our 0 to A, B, C, right? And then we went again into an ABC correction again, right? So we basically came over, we went our 0 to our A, B, C. This is the normal ABC you're looking for. So what you're looking for an ABC correction typically is you're looking for a lower high. That lower high then confirms that ABC correction. And then from there, you should run into another ABC correction, right? Or could run into. Again, this could correct after this ABC and then go up, but we'll say A, B, C. So as we started over here with our first ABC, again, our high or low, but our almost equal high, we're basically seeing a ceiling on the market, right? So we had a ceiling there, and that ceiling went from there to here, right? And once that ceiling was then confirmed, if we drew another trend line and we looked at the current market and we looked at it as a whole, we were basically in an incline wedge. And that's basically what happened over there. Once we got the lower high, that was confirmation for our market end for this portion of the market, right? Our Q1, Q2 portion of the market. And then we went into a typical, just so everybody knows, summertime is usually bearish, bear market. And that was basically right over here. There's usually no confirmation that a bear market will ever recover. So we had to play cautious in these areas. So a lot of the time, I was like kind of being like, okay, market looks like this. may come down to this. Again, this is all theory, guys. A lot of it's analytics and stuff like that that we're looking at, but nobody knows 100%. So once we caught our ABC here, then the market ran again, right? And you're probably like, okay, well, what's the current movement for the market? Okay, the next part we're going to run into is RSI. What is the relative strength index? The relative strength index is a momentum indicator used in a technical analysis that measures the magnitude of recent price changes to evaluate overbought or oversold conditions in the price of a stock market or other assets. The RSI is displayed as an oscillator, a line graph that moves between two extremes and can have a reading from 0 to 100. The indicator was originally developed by J. Wells Wilder Jr. and introduced in his seminal 1978 book, New Concepts in Technical Trading Systems. Traditional interpretation and usage of the RSI are that values of 70 or above indicate that a security is becoming overbought or overvalued and may be primed for a trend reversal or corrective pullback in price. An RSI reading of 30 and below indicates an oversold or undervalued condition, aka when we talk about ADA and these other coins that are not really being looked at right now, but setting at an oversold condition. The Relative Strength Index, RSI, is a popular momentum oscillator developed in 1978. The RSI provides technical traders and signals about bullish and bearish price momentum, and it is often plotted beneath the graph of an asset's price. An asset usually considers overbought when the RSI is above 70% and oversold when an RSI is below 30%. All right, now that we've talked a little bit about, a little bit about relative strength index, we can kind of take a look at Bitcoin's relative strength index, right? What are we seeing on the daily with Bitcoin's relative strength index? Well, if we look at relative strength index for Bitcoin on the daily, I would say it's still bullish. We're still in a higher lows, right? And we're basically making this trend of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the current market. And you're probably like, well, where do you see that from? And I'm going to show you where that starts. Again, how we knew this was ABC over here, by the way, is you can kind of see that bearish divergence playing out on the market. See that? AKA us topping right here. But our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 followed exactly as it did over here, guys. We got the same kind of push. We got the same price movement, right? And really this one could even be wrong, right? Like I actually think it's more like right over here. And you're probably like, whoa, 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 how's that? It's like, well, if you look at it as a whole, I'll show you. So our strength really picked up right here, right? So we had our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like. And then we had our big run, right? Our big bull run, and then boom, lower high, lower high, lower high. Strength is being lost here, guys, okay? But we're just gonna go right here. We're gonna stick with this for right now as our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna just kind of stabilize that position right there. Now you're probably like, well, where do you see the new 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Well, it's pretty obvious, I would say, if you just look at the chart, right? If you look at the chart overall, we've got our current 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're looking for our next 5. Now you're probably like, okay, why are you choosing here to here as our 1 rather than choosing here to here? Well, I'm choosing here to here as our 1 because look at our price action here, guys, right? Our price action here almost comes up to try and double top, right? So our strength for our original push here is where they initiated the market. So I'm not considering this part of the leg, although it could be. I am not considering that part of the leg. I'm considering that the initial push where the market started to top on strength. And then as we started to tilt over, we then came under that bearish divergence downtrend, right? But we came under such a bearish divergence downtrend for the current move. If you look here, we basically almost hit bottom right here. So what does that indicate to me? Well, that indicates to me that we're probably looking at a reversal. So if we're looking at a reversal from this position, again, guys, we can look at it from this trend, from the RSI standpoint, or we can take this, remove it, and we can look at it from this trend, from an RSI standpoint. Do you guys see how that perfectly matches up? And what do we see for the tops? Well, if we look at the tops here, we're actually in an uptrend for the market. So this is telling me, even though we're getting these downturns, right? And I think we bounce here, by the way, for our 5, which is why I think we've already hit our bottom. Even though we're getting these downturns, we're basically looking at the market to start to begin to try and reverse back up again, because we're still running on the same line. Even if Bitcoin comes down again and hits this line, it can't go much further than the oversold territory, guys. This is where we're at. We're in the oversold territory whenever we're down here. So if we're in oversold, the only way they can do is work down slow. They're not going to do that. Why? They're going to go the path of least resistance. What's the path of least resistance? Well, when you're on the bottom of the market, bottom of the chart, the path of least resistance is up. When you're at the top of the chart, the top of the resistance, top of the RSI, the path of least resistance is down, right? So where did we top? We topped over here, guys. So even though we came over and it did look like we made enough room to come up, we still formed that lower high. But with that lower high, we are looking for Bitcoin to break out of this bearish divergence, just as it did right over here, guys. This is what I'm looking for, right? Once it made that break, what happened right here, right? It made that break, and then if you would have entered on that break, you'd have been on this candle, guys, and you would have ran this up all the way. But I didn't doubt this for a second. I'll show you why here in a minute. So with all this being said, we ran up, ran down, and I'm expecting price to try and push out for this 5. And you're probably like, well, how are you all the way up there? Yeah, this and that. Well, I'm going to show you support, and I'm going to show you resistance, and I'm going to show you where I place my fib so you can kind of understand my position for Fibonacci. So we're going to go ahead and remove the RSI for right now. And you're probably like, okay, this is where we're bouncing. Why are you saying we're bouncing here? Well, look here, guys. See our bounce right there? Look right here. See that right there? That was really good support for there, guys. That was also really good support for here. What does that mean? Well, that tells me that the market is looking to find support in this zone, and this is the new support zone right now for BTC. I do think on this 5, we do see a market correction again, but I'm going to show you a different theory kind of pulling out, potential future move into Q1. So this right here is kind of where we're at right now. This is our current support that I'm seeing. I'm expecting price to range and stay here. Where else is this confirmed for this to be support that you see over here, guys? Right here, look. See that support? Every time. Same support, guys, same support. So if this is support, then I would consider this the bottom, right? And then if this is the top, we could say, oh, come all the way up, right? And if we say come all the way up, look at where we're at right now, guys. Look at that candle. Look how perfectly that closed on top of there. We're in a new zone. Where was the old zone? The old zone was here. This was the old zone, guys. Where's the new zone? New zone is here. This is where we'll play for now until we break out. Eventually, Bitcoin's just going to do its thing, and it's going to pull off one of these. And then it's just going to go. And then we're going to hit our 5, right? Where's our 5? Well, I expect 5 to somewhat range right in between here, guys. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 5 to range right in here. And if 5 can make it up to this position, I'm expecting this to be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after this 5, you're probably like, okay, where's the market going next? Cover that in the next clip. All right, now we're going to talk about ABC corrections. If you look here, right here, an old joke says that if an investor buys land in an earthquake zone, it will be his own fault. When I see a simple ABC correction in a stock, it reminds me of pavement pushed up by an earthquake. The upward price trend shifts downward in a stair-step correction, and then the price trend resumes its upward march many times for an extended rally. Figure 1 shows that what I am talking about, an upward price trend begins at 0.1 and soars to 0.2 before rounding over. Prices retrace a portion of the advance, forming the simple ABC correction. After meeting support at point C, prices resume their upward trend. This example shows a rounded volume appearance, the most common shape. So most common shape right here, you can see the rounded volume right there. you can see the ABC correction here, right? So if we come over to Bitcoin, all right, moving into Bitcoin, let's go ahead and let's look for those ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, all that good stuff, guys. So basically, if we look at the market right now for Bitcoin, we're looking at a right, into a B, into a C correction, guys. Look at that, all day. Easy to find, guys. ABC move, right? Just as they said. And what else did they say? They said, look for that rounded scenario, right? What do we notice here, guys? Do you see the circle? Do you see the circle? And then what happens after the circle, right? The rounded motion you're seeing there, right? So this rounded motion is what I like to call in the ABC accumulation. So where you have a rounded down, you should have a rounded up. This is basically indicating to me that the market is looking to trend back up and the market makers are looking to pick this thing up and keep it pushing. So with that being said, that was our ABC here. Now you're probably like, okay, that was our ABC there. What do we have here? Well, if you look, right? I mean, we could go a little deeper. At the end of the day, I don't think it will happen. I think this is kind of it. But we've got our 0, right? We've got our A, we've got our B, and then we got our C. You see this? Do you see this? And keep in mind, this did trend sideways for a while, guys. So it's not the only one, but the bottom was in. This is the bottom, guys, from what I can see, right? Can it go deeper? Sure, but I think this is the bottom. I'm pretty sure. Again, based off of TA and all that good stuff. So once we hit our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we should expect that Elliot wave push, guys, into what? What's the normal price range taking profit areas? 1.618, right? So I'm expecting price to range between the 1.618 and the 2. So at the 1.618 and the 2 are my price ranges, guys. All right, these are my price ranges. Then where should we go to? Well, if we stick to these laws of theory, we should be topping around 78 to 85K on Bitcoin. After that whole scenario happens, guys, that's where the market turns into a big ABC correction. Where would I like to see Bitcoin range? Well, I would like to see Bitcoin come down and do its thing and do a B and then run a C to no more, guys, no more than 60K. Okay? And you're probably like, well, where are you getting 60K from? I'm gonna show you. So we've kind of went over the whole process. Now we're gonna kind of look at the Bitcoin Rainbow, right, guys? Bitcoin Rainbow. So Bitcoin Rainbow over here. Log regression rainbow. Oh, not that one. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. We're gonna go with the normal rainbow, right? Not the stop the flow, not the Bitcoin halvening. Right here, the log rainbow, guys. Here we go. All right. So you're probably like, well, why 60K? Well, ideally, guys, I would like it to actually land, you know, depending on where we come out to, right around there. I'd like this to find support on this mid portion of this Bitcoin Rainbow, aka Fibonacci of the overall market for Bitcoin. If we're able to do that, I'm expecting price to give us that blow off top from here. As long as we can stay above 60, I'll stay bullish on the market, but our 1 should more than likely exceed into our 2, into our 3, into our 4, into our 5, right? And that blow off top, guys. The 3 could be all the way up here. Never know. Don't say I'm calling for 167K Bitcoin. I don't know where the top is, guys. You know, it could be 167K. If it goes out longer, it could be 170K. But I can tell you this. The ceiling, you can see the ceiling. And you're probably like, well, how can you see the ceiling? Watch. I'm going to show you the ceiling. Do you see this right here? What are you seeing, guys? What are you seeing? Support here, right? Support here on our AB, right? AB support, and then falls in under our C. And our C, then this becomes our ceiling, guys. So our 5 to here, our ABC correction into our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm expecting March, April, kind of, if this all plays out, to be the real end of cycle. And then from there, we should start trending down as a market, guys. So we'll see kind of Bitcoin start taking its normal hits. if this is able to play out. And then we should potentially see, you know, a floor at some point. And I am expecting lower than current floor. You're probably like, well, why do you expect that? And I'll show you in a minute. But I'm expecting right around here for price range for the bottom. And I know it's far below the rainbow, which is not normal, but I'm going to show you why. Logically, it makes sense, but I'm going to give you the consensus. Basically, Bitcoin, every single cycle has had an 85% correction on just Bitcoin. So alts usually take 90% plus. I've seen all the way up to 99% of the alt get wrecked. So if we're looking at it from that standpoint, guys, that standpoint, all right, 85% brings us down to the ranges I was talking about, 24K Bitcoin, okay? Let's say we don't do that. Well, then I would think that the cycles will probably shorten a little bit. Maybe we won't have 4-year cycles. But I don't think we go from 4-year cycles to no cycles, guys. It's not a real thing. Things need to mature, right? So maybe we get shortened cycles. In a shortened cycle scenario, I would ideally like to see Bitcoin maybe not do an 85% correction and do more like maybe a 75% correction, right? So if we say 75, and that would be significant, guys, significant in price, right? 75%, boom, right there. Where are we at in price, guys? Where are we at in price? We're sitting around 41K for Bitcoin, right? So 75%, 41K, and then 85% would be all the way down here in the 20s. So 75, 81, or 85, all right? So those are your two price ranges. I would say to look for a bottom for the market, around 40 to 25. I would probably start DCAing around 40. Not financial advice, by the way, guys. I'm just saying what I'm doing, okay? No financial advice here. I'll probably start DCAing around 40 and then start kind of watching the market as it kind of tumbles to a bottom. And then once that happens, then I'll probably, you know, buy in if I can catch bottom, obviously, around those lower ranges. If not, and the market, you know, falls over here, that's going to be a hard 85% correction, guys. 85 from here is right there. I know that sounds a little insane as far as price, but I think you can see it right there, right? So don't shoot the messenger. I'm just showing you guys how this works. So that would be the overall outlook of the market right now. So hopefully you're buying those alts, because alt season's coming. When wave 5 hits, watch. Directly after, we should see that cycle rotation, as we always see, guys. Take advantage, good luck, and have a good one.
Even when it don't feel right, I still wanna party with her. Even when it don't feel right, you know I'ma party with her, with her, with her. She be calling on a Monday, wanna meet on Tuesday, asking me to fix me up real nice. She can wait until the weekend, she wants off the deep end, telling me to bring the stuff I like. I don't wanna let her down, so I'm telling her yes. Though I'm kinda down from the pain in my chest, but I'm putting that aside now. I'ma feel her right now, happy from the stuff I know she likes. I've been trying my luck every day of the week, yeah. With my baby, what's up? Ay, always down every week, yeah. Know I love her too much, but I just can't get enough. She's slipping through the cracks, call my bluff. She know what's up, can't get enough, yeah. Even when it don't feel right, I still wanna party with her. Even when it don't feel right, hey, you know I'ma party with her, with her, with her. We be chillin' on through Wednesday, slept until it's Thursday. She don't wanna leave me, not just yet. Told me all about last Friday, when she went all crazy. Didn't go to bed till Saturday. I don't wanna go without, so I ask her to stay. Though she broke my heart in a million ways, but I'm putting that aside now. I'ma feel alright now, happy just as long as she's with me. I've been trying feel right. Hey, I still wanna party with her, even when it don't feel right. Yeah, you know I'ma party with her, with her, with her. Yeah, even when it don't feel right. I still wanna party with her. Oh yeah, even when it don't feel right. You know I'ma party with her, with her, with her. Even when it don't feel right. You know I'ma party with her, with her, with her. Yeah, yeah.